Hello, my name is Alistair Bain. In today's video we're going to take a review of the Seacoast United Phantoms game model from the 2018 season. So in the early part of the season the team faced a number of vertical and horizontal spacing issues. Here we'll see the Seacoast team is in the sky blue, so we're building forward. Here a heavy forward press on the opponent. We do a good job of breaking the first line, so now the holding player is able to turn and play forward. It's now the spacing of the number 3, the edge of the diamond here, in order to receive possession. That's not utilised, so again we've went square and almost forced possession, which has almost caused a turnover. Okay, we do a decent job at trying winning the ball back, so good counter pressure. But again we'll see that now counter pressure has denied us the ability to play in behind the opposing back lines and penetrate the back line. Okay, which has now caused again the turnover in the final third. So here we'll see from the goal kick, we're drawing out the opposing attackers. We do a terrific job here of breaking the lines to find the left edge of the diamond. So now as we penetrate forward again, I'd like to see us finding a movement away from the ball to find a platform, and behind the line of pressure we almost play into the line. So now it's allowed the opponent to again defend in two lines. We've got players in front of the line of the ball we can play forward into, but now we choose to go wide, and again it causes a turnover. So in this next clip here we see here vertical spacing is very good between the lines. We've now broken the initial line of pressure. It's the horizontal spacing from our left central midfielder we'd like to see a little bit wider, and again it took us a while to try and get that mechanism in place. Okay, so here we'll see we've went down the right, we've worked across to the left. Now with our inverted left full back we'd like to see the centre mid in that high half space. If we can play a forward ball now, we take away the entire midfield and we're going against the opposition's back five. As play now develops, we see the positioning of the centre mid is between the opposing defensive centre mids, and now ultimately our possession play has led us back to where we've started. Another piece of teething pains for the team was the dilemma within every possession based team of strategy versus structure. Okay, the strategy is we want to get players forward. We want to have forward options to play into. However, here we see in turnover, the structure doesn't allow us to defend what's coming against us. So here we see the two strikers are now pulling wide, pulling out our centre backs. So now when this forward entry happens, our full backs out of position, and fortunately the ball turns over for us. In this clip, however, we weren't so fortunate, and that here we'll draw a line that pretty much the front six are in front of. So again in the second phase when it turns over here, we have no ability to counter press. The player receives the ball, who plays a nice natural pass forward, and then his attacking qualities come off and we concede a goal from it. So ideally within any possession structure we want to have the width of the field, the first and the second lines of pressure all set up so when the ball turns over we're able to put immediate pressure on the ball, recovery pressure at the bottom side of the ball, so should the ball drop back we get immediate pressure, and then obviously supporting pressure so the guy immediately stepping on it has a secondary cover underneath should he get beaten the dribble or should the ball break off. So part of implementing our game model was to remove ourselves from systems of play equaling how we then played. Okay, so a number of different mechanisms we used throughout every system that we played. However, this one in particular relates to the 4-3-3 as it shows you how we break down the opponent's lines of pressure. So here we'll see there's a focus in the first entry area here, so the first phase of inverting the fullbacks. So our goal here is to try and narrow the opponent's lines of pressure, and in doing so it then flattens out the opponent's lines naturally as the wingers pull in nice and tight to create the gaps between the 10 and the 8 to allow forward movement of the ball. Here we'll see we now play into the opponent's half, and again it condenses the opponent's back line as they have to deal with the ball centrally. The number 8 here is taking up what we call a platform. So a platform is a space between the opposition's back line and midfield line, and it now allows us to play a free pass into the wide area for our wide player to advance forward and make attacking actions into the box, either via dribble or a cross. So here we see this in action. The two centre backs now take up the lower half spaces. The full backs are taking up the higher half spaces in the half, with the number 6 right in front of the centre backs. Here we see the forward passes met by the full back. Again, it's condensed the opposition's midfield line, which has taken away the pressure on the midfielder. The centre backs had to leave the back line now, so again it's only left them with 3 in the back. So now the full back's forward pass into the wide player is giving us that numerical advantage to attack the space. See, from the restart, we've established a higher possession grade here. Again, we break the first line, playing into our 6. Again, we've got that nice tight formation that allows us to try and play forward. We do a decent job here of linking the ball left and right. And again, now once we're playing into the half space, that structure gives us options round the ball to link back into. Here we see the two midfielders have got in behind the opposition's midfield line, and again allows us to play those forward passes into wide areas. So throughout the season we utilised a number of different systems of play. However, the game model had lots of things that were consistent throughout each game. So here we can start to see, as our season was moving forward, lots of good vertical play to draw pressure. Here we see the horizontal spacing of the right fullback coming into the inside channels to receive the ball, turn and face forward. Okay, it allows us to build, allows us to try and break opponents' lines of pressure. Here we see the right sided central midfielder working with that fullback. Again, the left side of the field now, quality spacing from the inside centre midfielder in the half spaces, the wide winger, and then the inverted fullback in behind him. Okay, again from goal kick here, it shifts across to the opposite side. Okay, so again we see at the bottom of the screen the right sided fullback inverting to the inside. Again, we're trying to pull out opponents, trying to break their lines of pressure. Again, lovely little bit of interchange here between the two central midfielders to first of all flatten out the opponent's midfield, break the line of pressure to then find the platform, which then initiated the movement from the left winger to get himself forward. This was a terrific example here of the increased understanding of filling the half space. So as the left winger comes inside, the right central defender of the opponent was drawn out, initially due to our midfielder taking up the high half space and opening up that central passage. It allowed the forward pass to now go into the central area. Obviously got a bit fortunate with the goal, but again it's the movement and it's the spacing that allows the attack play to happen, and the final third entry comes from it. So one of the things I wanted to work on this year was a couple new little variations within our build-up play and our overall possession. So the structure I decided to use this within was a 3-5-2 system against a 4-4-2. So here we'll see the central midfield mechanism of pulling out into space. So the rotation of the ball across the back three, again against a 4-4-2, we see is met with that forward pressure on the ball and the covering centrally. So one of the things we wanted to look at was pulling out a central midfielder into the pocket between the right winger and the right striker. Underneath this now we saw the second central midfielder pull into the central pocket, the number 10 moving forward into the half space, and the left winger now rotating it to the inside almost like a third striker. Felt not only would this occupy the opponent's defenders on the back line, 3 versus 3, but also would allow the left-sided central midfielder to gain an ability to open up his hips and play forward passes in unopposed situations. So here we see it in live moments now. The back three is opened out nice and wide for the field. The two strikers are obviously shifting across. Here we see the rotational movement now. So the left-sided central midfielders go out, right sided central midfielders come in, and the number 10 is pulled into that half space. Again, it now condenses the opponent's lines, okay, to be heavy on the ball side, but now they can't go and press the ball because they've got players in behind them to deal with. So now it allows that forward entry, and it gives us that 3 versus 3 inside the half space to try and attack forward. We're very unfortunate not to get something from it. Here we see on the opposite side now, okay, play's worked itself on the left hand side across to the right hand side. We see the number 4 is about to receive it. It's the right sided centre mid, who again is pulled wide. He's now able to cut inside and expose that space between the opponent's forwards and their midfield, okay, which has allowed them again to play that free entry into the final third and allow us to get numbers into the box. So the last mechanism that we use throughout the season, and again this is a big part of any team that I work with, is attack and transitions. I loved our ability in certain moments to win possession, right, through good collective defensive shape, and then find attacking routes to goal and breaking forward. To interact with me further, you can do so on Twitter by following my handle @AliBain, or feel free to leave a comment in the section below and I'll be more than happy to get back to you.